Good morning, students. I hope you are doing great. We'll be continuing our topic of energy change in chemical reactions. Before this, we have done the fuel definition, that what is basically fuel and what are some of the good qualities of a fuel, that how do you know that this fuel is really good. So these two points we already have covered, so you should be able to understand these points and you should know that what these were. Before going to the next part, which are these, today we'll be discussing about two important fuels which are basically used. First one is the ethanol. So ethanol is an alcohol. It can be made from plant materials. For example, it is made from sugarcane in Brazil and from corn in the USA. It is also used in car engines uh, as it is or used mixed with petrol. So ethanol is basically as a form of alcohol. You don't need to go into the detail of what is basically alcohol. We'll be covering this in the coming chapters. So you just need to understand that what are the good fuels. So you should able to name these fuels and how do we get these fuels. For example, ethanol is taken from plant materials, and they have given two examples, that it can be extracted from sugarcane, made from sugarcane, or from the corn as well. So these are the two countries which use these in their cars, and sometimes ethanol is mixed with petrol as well, or it may be used as it is in a pure form. Okay, next one is hydrogen. Hydrogen is also excellent fuel which is basically used in many places. For example, it is used to as a fuel in space rockets. The rockets which are sent to space, they require huge amounts of energy to overcome the gravitational force. So the hydrogen gas is basically used as a fuel in these space rockets. This gas burns explosively in oxygen, giving out lots of energy. So you should be able to understand that it is giving out energy. So you should instantaneously think that this is a exothermic reaction because it is giving huge amounts of energy. And you should also know that all the fuels which we are discussing basically gives out energy. That's why we are using them in different places, because they produce lots of energy, and that energy can be used in different places. For example, it's used in car engines or space rockets. Okay, also used in fuel cell without burning to give energy in the form of electricity. Okay, fuel cell will be covering in this chapter in the coming videos. So you just need to understand that hydrogen is burned first in oxygen. When it is burned, it releases lots of energy and is used in space rockets. But it can also be used without burning. So can also be used when you don't need to burn it. We'll be discussing that how without burning you can use hydrogen, that is basically in a fuel cell, and it is used to form electricity. Many cars now in Western countries are now powered with hydrogen as well, and that is basically in the form of electricity, and electricity is used to power the vehicle. So those cars are basically electric cars, but they use hydrogen gas to produce electricity. So we'll learn about this in the coming part of the in the coming lectures. Not today, but today the take home message is basically you have to know what are the two main important fuels which I have mentioned here, and write all the information which you can see right now on the page, other than the overview. Or you don't need to write, but you have to write about ethanol and hydrogen in your notebooks. I hope you learned a lot. See you soon. Allah Hafiz.